Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here for the first time, welcome. My name is Angela, and I find my paradise through reading and through collecting books, I guess. So if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you should know that I went to the annual local county libraries annual big book sale. It's a fundraising event that they have every year. And so I went there yesterday. I was there for, I think, about 9 hours, and I got like 142 books. So this is going to be a massive book haul video. For the sake of time, I am not going to say a whole lot about these books. I will show them to you. Some books don't even really need to be shown that much, and I'll explain that in a little bit. And I apologize in advance. I can't think of any good way to do this. So I did try to categorize the books a little bit as best as I could. And yeah, let's just get into this because I really don't know like how else to do this. And I'm just so pleased with the books that I got, and I am anxious to get these on my bookshelves and add a bunch of these to my TBR for this year. So let's get started with some easy piles. Okay, I have this stack of books. Okay, look at all of these. These are books in Spanish. And this whole stack of books was $3. So I was able to fill this bag that was provided with as many books as I could. So this is how many books fit in that bag. And I think there are about like 22 books here that I got for $3. So the content of these books didn't really matter to me because this is just to help me with my Spanish studies. So I love like reading in Spanish. And what's great about these is that they are like so short. These are supposed to be like really light romance novels, which is not really my jam, but it's going to help keep my Spanish up to date and new vocabulary. So just to show you a couple of these, they look pretty cheesy, I admit, but again, it's not about the content. So this one, Enamorado de una princesa. So you can see like in love with a princess. Un futuro brillante, bright future, brilliant future. Una verdadera familia, a true family. So no need, like I said just a couple minutes ago, that there's no need for me to go through all of these books. That's pretty much what they are, just a bunch of Spanish light romance books. The only thing that was different was these books that I got. And this one is Antes de ser libres, which is before we were free. So I found this in Spanish, but I also found a copy in English, Before We Were Free. And this is by Julia Alvarez. So I thought this was a really cool find so that I can like cross-reference it. I can read it in English first, then in Spanish if I want to, or vice versa, or at the same time. But I love it when I have a book in two different languages. So I'm going to get this stack out of the way. Okay, next stack. Again, I don't really feel like I need to go through all of these. This was another fill a bag for $3. And these are light romance books. These ones are two romance books in one. And they're supposed to be romantic comedies. Like this one says the cash strapped cutie. And then the other book is Keepsake Cowboy. Oh my goodness. Again, these books are not my jam. I'm not going to read these. However, I got these so that I can donate them to the little free libraries around town as an offering to keep blessing me with wonderful books. So I love our little free libraries, and anytime I'm unhauling books, that's usually where I unhaul them. And then I usually get some really good books to add to my library as well. So these were all romantic comedies. And then this little Nora Roberts book, Irish Rebel. So this is for the little free libraries. No need to go into those. Okay, now we get into some good stuff. This stack here is all Roald Dahl books. I love Roald Dahl. I have 3 of his books now. I have Witches, the BFG, and Matilda. I love Roald Dahl books. So I found so many of them there. These are the ones that I grabbed, and I'll show them to you. George's Marvelous Medicine. Sorry for the glare. Like, I can't help it with these shiny books. Okay, so that's George's Marvelous Medicine. We have Going Solo. The Twits. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and 6 More. I'm trying to hold it at an angle so you don't get so much glare. Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. Oh, I got 2 Charlie and the Great Glass Elevators. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to add it to my donations for the little free libraries. Okay. The next one is The Missing Golden Ticket and Other Splendiferous Secrets. The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me. Mm-hmm. And James and the Giant Peach. Oh gosh, I remember reading this so long ago. I mean, I was a kid when I read this, and oh, that brings back memories. So those are the Roald Dahl books that I got at the library book sale. Okay. And sticking with children's books, I found The Wind in the Willows. And I already had The Wind in the Willows. I did a video a couple months ago. I had read The Wind in the Willows, I think in the beginning of spring, because it was just like a very spring-like cozy read. And it's just so cute, such a cute story. But I saw this copy of it, and I think this is a lot nicer than the copy that I have. So I am going to replace my copy, donate it, and keep this one for my library. Should move my necklace because I bet it's making sounds on this. So we have The Tale of Despero by Kate DiCamillo. Look at Despero. And I love that. It's got like the deckled edges, and it does have illustrations in it. Let me find one so that you can see. This is what the illustration style is like. Okay. Then I got volumes 1, 2, and 4 of the Spiderwick Chronicles. So they are adorable, adorable books. And so, yeah, I was all over the place trying to find at least the 3rd book because I have 1, 2, and 4. But I'll keep my eyes open because I do usually see some Spiderwick Chronicle books in thrift stores. So we have the first one, The Nixie Song. Glare again. Oh my goodness. A Giant Problem. And The Ironwood Tree. But I mean, when you look at these, they are just such pretty books. They are so cute. And then they do have illustrations. Like, how cute. Oh my goodness. Then I have The Land of Elion, books 1, 2, and 3. I think this is just a trilogy. So this is the whole set. We have The Dark Hills Divide, and these are by Patrick Harmon. Let me see. It's got deckled edges, very cute. I don't see illustrations, so I might not have any. Book 2 is Beyond the Valley of Thorns. Gorgeous books. I really like these. And The 10th City. Okay, now we have Dragon Rider by Cornelia Funk. I love dragons. I mean, if I see a dragon, I'm getting the book. Does this have illustrations? The end papers are cool. Yeah, there's some light illustration. So, gorgeous hardcover. Then we have Wonder by R.J. Palacio. And then this gorgeous copy of Pinocchio by Carlo Collodi. Look at this. And then it's like all like goldy and shiny. Look at this. Oh my goodness. And let me show you the inside. Oh my goodness. Look at this. What? And I'll be honest, at the book sale, the most expensive books that I got at the book sale were these children's books. Now, like the adult books, they might have been like 50 cents for most of the paperbacks, maybe $1 for a hardcover. Children's books were like individually priced. This one here was $6. This and this one, which is like the same kind of collection. So the children's books were the most expensive. And it's interesting because in my last book haul video, and I went to Barnes and Noble and I got books, and I was talking about how expensive children's books are. And they're usually more expensive than my adult books, especially like the real nice picture books, which I spent about $18, $19 for each of the picture books. And so it was interesting that like when I went to like just a big used book sale, that it was the same thing, that the children's books were the most expensive. So yeah, this is just a gorgeous copy of Pinocchio. I love it. And then I saw a beautiful copy of Peter Pan. The same collection. Again, this was $6. Gorgeous illustrations all throughout. Nice glossy pages. Beautiful. Okay. And then you saw that I found this book, Wonder, in the children's chapter book section. But then in the children's picture book section, I found this, We're All Wonders. So this is a shortened picture book version of the story. Oh my goodness. And I opened it up and I was like, oh, that's fun. So very, very, very cute. I wonder how much this one was. Does it have the price in here? Okay. This was $3. This one was, okay, $2. The Hare and the Tortoise, based on a fable by La Fontaine, illustrated by Brian Waldsmith. So this looked like a very pretty picture book. Let me just show you the art style. And the last picture book is Wallace's Lists by Barbara Botner and Gerald Kruglich, illustrated by Olaf Landstrom. It's a mouse and his lists. Oh my gosh. So those are the children's books. I love children's books. I don't care. You can be whatever age ever. And I really recommend reading children's books. I do feel like they just bring back, especially since I've always been a reader, I guess, and I've always loved books. So it just really takes me back to the books that I used to read as a kid, and like the innocence and the pure enjoyment and the the fantasy, the imagination. It just, I don't know what it is about children's books, and I just love them so much. And so even if you buy them for yourself or for yourself and for like your children, your grandchildren, I always have children's books on my shelves, nieces, nephews. I'm always ready with books, and I'm really known for when kids come over, they want me to read them books. And I'm always all for it. Absolutely. Yes, let's read a book. Okay, let's go on to my next stack. Let me get these down. Okay, so I have A Flash of Lightning in the Dark of Night, a guide to the Bodhisattva's way of life, the Dalai Lama. Okay. I've always found the Dalai Lama very, very interesting. And I just, when you read about this, like embracing the bodhicitta, and then like a chapter on carefulness, um, it's just, endeavor, attentiveness, patience, wisdom, dedication. So I love reading these kinds of books. So I was very pleased to find something like that. Then I found The Artist's Way, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity. I have heard of this book from so many creative people, whether you're a painter, any kind of craft, booktuber. So sometimes with artists, they can either feel burnt out or they're just like unsure, they're running out of ideas or whatever. This is supposedly like the most amazing way to get back into your creativeness and to get new ideas and to be inspired again. And then, so it's just kind of like a step by step kind of course and things that you do and record along the way. So I always thought it was interesting, and I would definitely try this at some point. I don't feel like I'm there yet, but I would love to keep this resource on my shelf for when I'm ready and I feel like I'm needing of inspiration or wherever this course takes me. So that is The Artist's Way, and you can find so many YouTube videos of people that have followed this course and what they've said about it. So I really recommend checking those videos out. It's really cool. Okay, and then I have Cleopatra, A Life by Stacy Schiff. So gorgeous, a hardcover. I have heard amazing things about this book. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. Then I have a whole stack of books on like surrounding herbalism and medicine. So I do grow a lot of like my own like fruits and vegetables and things like that. I also like forage, even in like my backyard, for different weeds, or even purposefully grow some weeds to make certain tinctures and medicines and remedies for my household. So I've been trying to expand on my knowledge because it's the remedies and tinctures and things that we've used so far have surpassed anything that we have bought in stores. And so I'm like, wow, like these are only like a couple of the remedies that I know of. So I would like to expand on that and expand my apothecary in the kitchen. So, and the best thing to do when you're practicing herbalism is to have a lot of reference materials and cross-referencing like a couple different books, and because not one book is going to have everything. So I'll just run through these quick. This is the Little Guides to Herbs, and this is wonderful for like identification. So plant identification, they have like wonderful descriptions and pictures. Then we have Earth Medicine, Earth Food, Plant Remedies, Drugs, and Natural Foods of the North American Indians by Michael A. Weiner. We have Deanne Dinchin Buckman's Herbal Medicine, The Natural Way to Get Well and Stay Well. Book of Proven Home Remedies and Natural Healing Secrets. 1001 Natural Remedies by Laurel Vukovic and the editors of Natural Health magazine. Early American Herb Recipes by Alice Cook Brown. And the last one is The Complete Family Guide to Natural Home Remedies, Safe and Effective Treatments for Common Ailments. General Editor Karen Sullivan, Consultant Editor C. Norman Shaley, MD, PhD. Okay, so I am excited to add those to my reference materials for herbalism. Alrighty, now we're getting into, let's go to classics. I found some lovely classics. I love classics, and I did find some books that were on the 100 greatest books ever written list that I'm working my way through. So I was definitely keeping my eye open for some of those books that were on that list that I don't have on my shelves yet. So here we have Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I already have a copy of Great Expectations, but I think I like this copy better. That's why I got this one, because the copy that I have has, for the cover, it has pictures of the movie, like from the movie that they made. And it just, I don't like when movies based off of books have pictures from the movie as a book cover. I think that's lazy, and it's giving too much credit to the movie, trying to make it look, I guess it makes it seem like the book is based off of the movie, but that's not the way it goes. So I'm not impressed with the cover that I have. So this is simple enough. Great Expectations. Then we have Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. This is on the list of 100 greatest books ever written, and if I'm not mistaken. Very old version of it. Look at this. But I got it. The Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. This is on the list of 100 greatest books ever written. And I actually think that this is the next book that I'm going to read on the list, because I did just finish War and Peace, which was a really big, hefty chunker. So I was looking for something that wasn't so heavy and thick. So I don't know anything about this book. I've never heard of it before. I don't know anything about it. So I'm going into it completely blind. And sometimes that's the best way to go. I have Arthur Miller, The Crucible. I already have a copy of The Crucible, and I did not realize it. And I actually do like the copy that I have on my shelf better than this one. So this is going to be donated to a little free library. Okay. I found some John Steinbeck books. And the reason I grabbed these is because after reading Mice and Men, which jumped up to the top 5 books of my top 5 favorite books of all time. So that makes me really want to check out a couple of his other works, because that's the only book of his that I've read. So I found The Pearl by John Steinbeck. I'm hoping any of these are as good as of Mice and Men, but I doubt it. The Winter of Our Discontent by John Steinbeck. Then we have a Penguin Classics, John Steinbeck, Travels with Charlie in Search of America. Never heard of any of these books, so we'll see. Okay. Then over here, I'm not even sure if this is a classic, but it was in the classic section, and I've heard this is an amazing book. But I have Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. Big chunker. I love the flop factor on this one for sure. And I actually had someone at my house who was looking through my books, and he saw this one and he was like, oh my gosh, you have Atlas Shrugged. That is so good. So that makes me excited. Then I have The Adventures of Robin Hood by Paul Creswick. Look at this copy. I could not pass this one up. Does this have any illustrations? Well, like it smells so old. It's got such an old smell. Oh my gosh, there are illustrations. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Beautiful copy of Robin Hood. And also, look at this old baby, and I think it's beautiful. This has both Robin Hood and Last of the Mohicans. And the book, The Last of the Mohicans, is in that list of 100 greatest books ever written. But look at this book. Oh my gosh, it looks like it should be in somebody's grandma's house. And it does have some illustrations here. Look at the end. The end papers are oh my God. I love this. I think I'm going to put this on my mantelpiece, on my, mantle place, fireplace, mantle, whatever. You know what I mean. Oh, goodness. Oh, all right. So I have another stack of classics. Okay. So we have Ernest Hemingway, The Sun Also Rises. Ooh, The Heart of Thoreau's Journals, edited by Odell Shepard. I love Henry David Thoreau. So anything with Henry David Thoreau, I want to look into. I have The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. This is on the list of 100 greatest books ever written. That's a cool cover. The Story of Dr. Dolittle by Hugh Lofting. Look at this. It's a cloth cover book. Thought it was so cute. I wonder if this, yes, it has. Oh my gosh, it looks so old. It smells so old. And I am so thrilled with this find. I think it's so cool. We have Tender is the Night by F. Scott Fitzgerald. The Great Novels of Charles Dickens. So this has Oliver Twist, A Christmas Carol, A Tale of Two Cities, and Hard Times. Now, Tale of Two Cities is on the list of 100 greatest books ever written, so that is why I grabbed this book. But it's a pretty good book. And I don't have Oliver Twist yet, and I do not have Hard Times. So, yes. And this beautiful book right here, look at this cover. Look at this copy. The Works of Alexandre Dumas. And he is the author of The Count of Monte Cristo, which is one of my, is it my number one book? I feel like it's probably my number one favorite book of all time. I think it probably is. Like, honestly, I feel like The Count of Monte Cristo ruined every book for me because now I compare everything to The Count of Monte Cristo and there's just no comparison. But anyway, this says The Works of Alexandre Dumas, but there's only like 2 books in here. So it's The Three Musketeers and 20 Years After. So The Three Musketeers is on the list of 100 greatest books ever written. Let me make sure there's only 2 books, because seriously? Yep. There's only 2 books, but it's called The Works of Alexandre Dumas. I don't know how you have a book called The Works of Alexandre Dumas and The Count of Monte Cristo is not in it. Doesn't make sense, but whatever. Gorgeous book. I mean, it's got the gold foil edges. It's got the satin bookmark. I am so excited about that find. Okay, moving on down to the next stack. I don't know why this is only a stack of 3, but I have Wicked by Gregory Maguire. Oh, that's right. This is a stack of 3 because these are all Gregory Maguire books. So, The Life and Time of the Wicked Witch of the West. This was actually on a wish list that I had, so I was able to cross this off when I found it. I was psyched. Then I have Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister. And Lost, a novel. So those are 3 Gregory Maguire books. Next stack. Okay. I have The Bookshop of Second Chances, a novel by Jackie Fraser. A Dog's Purpose by W. Bruce Cameron. Because apparently the movie did not do enough emotional damage, I decided, let me read the book and bawl my eyes out another 10 times. A Beautiful Mind by Sylvia Nazar. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Now, I already have a copy of this book. I didn't realize because I have it on my TBR, but I guess I forgot that I got this at some point. So I'm actually going to give this to my colleague at work. This book is also on her TBR and she doesn't have a copy of it. So here you go, girl. Then I have Big Fish by Daniel Wallace. I have Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, a novel. Look at this. Big old chunker. I'm wondering if this was in the list of 100 greatest books ever written. I don't think so. But I may be wrong. What's it called? Jonathan Strange. And I don't remember if I grabbed it because it was on this list or if it's because it's on my TBR, because it is on my TBR for this year. Jonathan Strange. I don't see it. Either way, I'm reading that book this year. All right, what else do we have? The Keeper of Lost Things, a novel by Ruth Hogan. Toni Morrison, Sula. I got this. Okay, first of all, I love Toni Morrison's writing, but specifically Sula, I was looking out for because one of my favorite booktubers, Jack in the Books, this is one of his most favorite books of all time. And if Jack says it's that good, then I want to read it. So, and this was in Oprah's book club, but he has mentioned this book so many times and just goes on and on about it. And so I'm about to find out what's up. Then I have The Amateur Marriage, a novel by Ann Tyler. Then I have It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I already read it, but it was a borrowed copy and figured I'll have my own copy so I can pass the trauma on to other people. All right. Next set of books. What do we have here? We have Dean Koontz, The Darkest Evening of the Year. I'm hoping this is scary. I used to love Dean Koontz books and I used to love reading horror. I haven't in a very, very, very long time. So I want to give it another shot. So I'm hoping this is scary. But there's a gorgeous dog in the front, so maybe it's not. What is this? The Founded Rescue, Dog Lovers, Legends, Devotion, Eerie Incidents, Ominous Stranger, Mysterious Home Invasion. This might be scary. Okay, let's hope. I'm trying to dip my feet into horror a little bit more. I have Mitch Albom, The Stranger in the Lifeboat. Ooh, I have a couple of Mitch Albom's books, so that's perfect. This is like brand new, like mint condition. The dust jacket is mint condition. It's got deckled edges. Gosh, I don't think doesn't look like it's ever been read or opened or anything. Beautiful. Then I have Stephen King, The Wind Through the Keyhole. Again, hoping it's kind of scary. Used to read Stephen King books, and I'd like to try to get a little bit more into horror now that I'm trying to get my anxiety under control. We'll see. Gideon, The Cut Purse. The Past Has Never Been So Close by Linda Buckley Archer. I just got this because I'm like, this looks like a very cool book. I didn't even read like the synopsis, so I don't even know what it's about. I'm judging books by their covers at this point because there were so many. The Dragon Waiting, John M. Ford. Again, they mentioned a dragon, so I was like, I'm getting it. Dragons, count me in. I have The Personal Librarian, Marie Benedict Victoria Christopher Murray. So I actually had this in my hands in Barnes and Noble, and I put it back, but I added it to my wish list and found it at the book sale for like $1. So then I have Dan Brown, Angels and Demons. I think I have another, yeah, I do have another Dan Brown book. So I have a couple of his books and I really do like his writing. So let me just show you the other. We have Dan Brown, Origin. And we have Dan Brown, Inferno. I actually think I have Inferno. I think I might. I've read Inferno before for sure. Oh, I do have it. I actually bought this copy for someone that I know. So it's not for me. Okay. This was a very cool find. I was very, very excited to find this. I actually was like tearing through these tables looking for this. And that is Brizinger by Christopher Paolini. I have all of the books in his Aragon series. I was missing Brizinger. So anytime I would go to a thrift store or flea market or wherever, I was always looking for Brizinger because they don't have the hardcover copies of these books in Barnes and Noble. Like the only hardcover they have is his most recent release, which is Murtaugh, and I was like, ugh. So I've just had a lot of trouble trying to find the original, and here it is. Like I said, dragons. I love the series. There's dragons involved, so I'm all about it. Then I got A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini. Look at this beautiful book. So I read his book, The Kite Runner. Devastated and traumatized me and had me sobbing. And so I was like, cool, let me read some more of his works. And I keep being told that A Thousand Splendid Suns should be the next Khalid Hosseini book that I should read. So I have this. I also have one of his, And the Mountains Echoed. I have that book of his. I haven't read it yet, but I will probably follow everyone's advice and read A Thousand Splendid Suns next. And this is very beautiful. It's got like this design along the side of the page. It's a lovely detail. I wonder if it's got, oh my goodness. It's got pages of pictures. Oh man, is this going to be a true story? I don't know. Is it based off a true story? Am I going to like be devastated all over again? So if you can see, there's sections where there's a couple pages of pictures. I don't know what this is about, but now I'm worried. Okay. Then I have two of Ransom Riggs books. Okay, so we have Miss Pettigrew, Miss Pettigrews Home for Peculiar Children. I can't talk. All right, let me try that again. Miss Pettigreen's Home for Peculiar Children. Say that 3 times fast. I don't know. I don't know why I'm struggling with that. So apparently this is a series. So there's that. And then this is Library of Souls, the third novel of Miss Pettigreen's Peculiar Children. So I have the first and the third. I do not have the second. I will find that. Next stack. Look, we're still going. We're still going strong. Whew. All right. I have Are these more children's books? I think so. I think these were like in the children's chapter books. I have The Unwanteds by Lisa McMahon. This stuck out to me because it says The Hunger Games meets Harry Potter. That's all I read. I'm like, Hunger Games and Harry Potter. Sounds like a good combination to me. Then I have Wonderstruck by Brian Selznick. This caught my eye because of this. I was like, wow, that looks cool. And when I opened it, holy smokes, like there was just so much. So even though it looked like a big chunker, there was a lot of illustrations, and you can tell by all the colors on the ends. So this looks promising. Do I know what it's about? Absolutely not. But it looks good. Ooh, this looks wonderful. Okay. I have A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L'Engle. The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer. And this like takes me back to what I was talking about, the magic of books and the imagination and just the fun. And children's books like really bring that out. Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. I mean, can you guys agree with me? Like so far, this is like a really decent like book haul for one day's shopping. And of course, the most amazing series I've probably ever read. But no, The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Look at that. Holy smokes. The Chronicles of Narnia. Let me just make sure we have The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Horse and His Boy, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Silver Chair, and The Last Battle. And I'm not going to lie, I don't think I ever read the entire series. I think I stopped at Prince Caspian because I don't remember ever reading The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So this would be so fun to start over. And it's been, well, I want to say, I'm not going to say how many years it's been since I read the series. All right, I'm getting another stat. Guys, we're making progress. We're making some amazing progress. Okay. We have The Emperor's Soul by Brandon Sanderson. And I hear a lot about Brandon Sanderson. I've never read any of his books, and I was hoping that this is a standalone. Maybe it is, because I know his series are like, I don't know, 50 books long. So he has Mistborn. I'm hoping this is a standalone. But that's that. I have Oxygen. I think this is a sci-fi. A Mission Gone Desperately Wrong, and No Way Out Short of Blind Faith. John B. Olson and Randall Eger Manson. That's Oxygen. Sci-fi. This next book is probably one of my absolute favorite finds at this book sale. I didn't know this book existed. This totally made my day. I don't even know how, oh my God. Okay, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. This is, okay. Let me try to keep a straight face. Okay, give me a minute. Straight face. Oh man, okay. Let's do this again. Straight face. A Vampire Christmas. Okay, hold on. Oh, I failed. All right. A Vampire Christmas Carol. Ebenezer Scrooge, Vampire Slayer. by Sarah Gray. What? A Vampire Christmas Carol. Ebenezer Scrooge, Vampire Slayer. And the fact that they have this cover that is very much like the actual Christmas Carol cover with the door knocker, but they really turned it very gothic-y. So it has like the gothic kind of font here and like the vampiric gargoyle-y kind of like door knocker that in the novel A Christmas Carol, it was like Jacob Marley was the face on the door knocker. This cracked me up so much. And what made it even funnier is is that it actually sounds good. It says, I'm going to read the back of this. This is the only book that I'm probably going to read the back of because you guys have to hear this. Okay. Ebenezer Scrooge has never been known for the greatness of his heart. A miser, a leech, a penny-pinching old coot. Say what you will about him, though. He's never actually sucked someone's blood. That dubious honor belongs to the vampires who surround him, preying on the weak and laying traps for the strong. They've dogged his footsteps since he was born, driving him from the love of his friends, family, and faithful fiancé. Now, on Christmas Eve, Scrooge's old friend, Jacob Marley, rises from the grave to warn him about the evil gathering around him. With 3 mysterious spirits to guide him, he rediscovers his lost love, Belle, toiling fearlessly as a seamstress by day and vampire hunter by night. He sees the secrets of his nephew Fred and his clerk, Bob Cratchit, who risk their lives as Belle's loyal soldiers. And he learns of the plot mounting to attack all of them, starting with the innocent sacrifice of Bob's son, Tiny Tim. Scrooge has only one night to save himself and all that he once treasured. But if he can vanquish the vampires, he might finally earn back the love he cast away. Like, are you serious? And he learns of the plot mounting to attack all of them, starting with the innocent sacrifice of Bob's son, Tiny Tim. They brought Tiny Tim into it. This is crazy. Like, this is, and I love, like, the last couple years I've listened to A Christmas Carol over the Christmas holidays, narrated by Tim Curry, 150% recommended. Amazing audiobook. This is freaking hilarious. This is like, this author was like, oh, I like vampires and I love A Christmas Carol. Let me combine them. I mean, I like dragons and I like zombies. Let's combine that. No, Game of Thrones already did that. But anyway, yeah, they beat me to it. But this is like, what kind of mashup was this? And this is amazing. I'm gonna put this like immediately on my October TBR because I kind of want to read it right now. Like, I want to read it immediately, but I'm gonna do my best to hold off. Maybe I won't make it till October, but this, like, I can't believe I found something like this. This is crazy. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I found Everworld, Search for Senna by K.A. Applegate. Okay. My battery's running low. So that's that. I have From the Ground Up, The Story of a First Garden. I have a bunch of Anne Rice books. So I found Vittorio, the Vampire, Pandora, Belinda, The Mummy, Exit to Eden, and Memnoch the Devil. And this is the next book that I need to read in the Vampire Chronicles. So I found it. Yes. And my last stack before my battery dies. These are just books in French. So I have 3 Danielle Steele books in French: Renaissance, La Foudre, Malveillance, uh, Le Petit Livre des Pensées, Les Plus Drôles. These are like funny quotes. A Peanuts comic in French. Les Vacances du Petit Nicolas. So these are all just, yeah, parallel text in French. I got The Little Prince in French. I already had a copy and I let someone borrow it, and I haven't seen it since. I don't think I'm going to get it back, honestly. So for 25 cents, I'll just get another copy. No big deal. Oh no. I have little French books. Another French book, Anu, Les Petits Bonheurs. And then I got sign language. So there's like flashcards and books in, not books in sign language. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this got, what to say, a 28-page booklet, some flashcards and useful phrases and things like that. I do know a bit of sign language, and so I'm adding that to my reference materials for sign language. Guys, that's it. Woo! We did it. We got through all the books before my battery died. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for sticking with me. And I hope you enjoyed this book haul as much as I did. This is just so fun. Oh, now I get to organize these and put these on my bookshelves and enjoy, and add some to my TBRs. And I couldn't be happier. You can tell. But anyway, again, thank you so much for sticking with me. And I will be talking to you soon. Again, happy reading. Goodbye.